This event is about being proudly South African. It is jam-packed with plenty of thought-provoking discussions that center around pertinent issues relevant to the South African business environment.
The reason why we are here is because on an annual basis we host an event where we gather in the room policy makers, both from the private sector and the public sector, that are responsible primarily for procurement in the country, in order to try and understand if they are changing their procurement preferences in favor of locally made products and services. So they need to change their sourcing strategies. Unfortunately, with government, there's legislation that talks to that. If there are items that are designated by the GTI for local procurement. So if you buy any of those items that are designated for local procurement, you have to buy locally made products. So what we're trying to do now is to try and nudge the private sector to also do the same. So in the conference room, those are the discussions that are happening right now. Retailers, manufacturers, policy decision makers. And on this floor where we are now, we have an expo happening. So it's an exhibition with 208 exhibitors, all showcasing locally made products and services, ranging from small ticket items to large infrastructure items. So we've invited matchmakers and buyers who are here to look for products, to look for suppliers. Some appointments were even set beforehand. And that is the thinking behind this conference.
The issue of local procurement and transparent tender processes were robustly discussed here.
We spoke about those issues that concern the public sector insofar as public procurement is concerned, where obviously the people who bid for contracts are the private sector that bid for public sector contracts. And what he was talking about was the fact that there needs to be stringent compliance. One, to look at compliance with localization requirements in the public procurement space and the processes, but also to look at the corruption issues, because that is where the problems start, where people start flouting processes and no longer buy an item that they should have bought from a local producer, but they do not, simply because the tender or the contract has been earmarked for someone else.
So what does it mean for a South African business to call itself proudly South African? Well, we decided to go and engage with some of the local businesses here at the exhibition and find out more.
I started manufacturing this cream in my kitchen 25 years ago. I'm a professional nurse, and since I was a little girl, I've always had a passion to heal people. I couldn't bear people to be suffering from pain, and I had a father who had a fractured spine since before I was born, and so I spent my whole childhood massaging him. I was always trying to look for things to massage him with that would not stick to the bed linen. And after working in a hospital for 15 to 18 years, at the time I had all the nurses and doctors queuing up to have massages for me because I just had natural ability. But I realized that people were dying from leg amputations from a simple thing like a crack in the foot. And I also realized that they were very stressed, and just taking a pill was not enough to heal their conditions. They needed to be massaged and they needed to be touched. So I started working on cream specifically for massage, but while I was developing the cream, I decided to combine the two, and I eventually came up with a very unique formula that works within 1 minute on very dry skin. The same cream can be used for massage and doesn't stick to the bed linen. And top of the pops, it actually heals open wounds and diabetic sores and stops the feet from cracking. So I came up with one amazing Sister Jenny multi-purpose cream that's unique in the world and does many, many things.
Now that is really an amazing massage. And as you can tell, I'm having such an amazing time here at the Proudly South African event. I've had the opportunity to meet South African trailblazers, and what is really inspiring to me in particular is meeting inspiring women entrepreneurs. You've just met Sister Jenny and heard all about her amazing product and how she's changing the world. Well, here I am now at Health and Heals, and we are going to chat to another amazing South African woman entrepreneur.
So currently I am in the corporate industry, so I am in IT, which, as you know, it's a male-dominated industry, so it's not so easy for us women. And I do travel a lot as well. I do manage the marketing department in the IT industry for Brigada Technologies. So whilst managing that department, as I traveled a lot, I noticed that coming back home, there was never really services which were catered or dedicated for us women, especially women on the move. So that's when I decided, okay, why not start a brand which will empower women, not only on a corporate level, but also through lifestyle and wellness services as well. And hence why I created Health and Heals. I've also traveled a lot, so throughout my traveling experiences, I've been to so many countries. Coming back home, definitely home ground, South Africa as well, and starting up a brand here, which was just amazing. So I found the idea and the platform and the gap in the market, and I decided that's it. Let me start my brand. It was not so easy at all. It was quite a struggle. There were a lot of sleepless nights. I mean, when I got the idea of an entrepreneur, although I come from the corporate industry, as an entrepreneur, it is tough. And getting all the support that you need is absolutely vital. That's why a platform like this, Proudly SA, where the African government, not just government, but different organizations empower entrepreneurs like myself through different industries, which is absolutely vital.
Nashina Mohammed for Joburg Today, proudly South African.